Hello lovely people and happy new year. Welcome back to my channel for 2022. If you're new here, hello, my name is Noah. I'm a bookish and lifestyle vlogger born and raised and still based in New York City. So if that sounds like of any interest to you, I would absolutely love it if you would stick around until the end and subscribe if you so please. So typically what I like to do for the very first video of the year, I like to just wrap up the previous year and talk about all the books that I have read. I will be going over my Goodreads stats. What I have done previously is have piles of every single book that I read and hold them up and say the name, the title, and the author. But in 2021, I decided that that is so time consuming and ridiculous, but I still like to watch the videos in which people mention every title. So if you have one, let me know. I read a lot from the library. There's like audiobooks that I might forget about. So what I did was after I finished every book, filmed it, and then I was done. Sometimes I would forget, so sometimes you'll see the same outfits and stuff like that, which is fine because the point is that I got it down. And so that's what I have done. So today I am just dressed in my New Year's Eve outfit because I was working, still looked good. Didn't take any pictures though, and I just wanted to commemorate that. And I look really good. I really like this top from Lulu's. Let's get into the screen share of my Goodreads. So in 2021, my year in books, I read a total of 49,690 pages. Is that accurate? I honestly don't know, don't really care about that. The point is that I read 163 books. That may seem like a lot, that may seem like a little to you, but however many books that you read, that's still a really great accomplishment, and I'm happy that you even read one book. So the shortest book that I read was 15 pages. It was an ebook novella, Warm Up by V.E. Schwab. And the longest book I read is 560 pages by Fonda Lee, Jade City, which I read for reading Mina's favorite books. I am surprised by this because I typically feel like I read a lot longer books. Like I have had It, which is over 1,000, or usually Game of Thrones, which is like 900 pages. I guess I didn't read any books in that series this year. Moving on. My average book length was 304 pages, which seems accurate. Typically, I like a book to be at least 300 pages, otherwise it feels just a little bit too short for me. My most popular read was George Orwell's 1984, shelved by, oh my god, almost 6 million people. No surprise there. I did a buddy read of this with my friend Sato. I read this originally in high school. It's still shit. Yeah, I still don't like it. Why I decided to reread a book that I had to reread in high school, I don't know. But I'm glad Sato was there for me with that. And the least popular book, this is the 20th book in the Slam Dunk manga series that I read. Only 128 people have shelved it, which is really sad. It is my boyfriend's favorite book series, probably like the only one he's ever read. We've been dating for a while and it took me a long time to get to this, and I'm really glad that I read it. I'm not sure why it's the 20th book because there's like 24 books in this series. I highly recommend it. I did read it in Japanese though, but I believe it's been translated in a number of languages. My average rating for 2021 was 3.5, which is also no surprise. I do feel like that's lower this year or in 2021 because I had quite a few 2-star reads. I'm not sure what it was, if it was some kind of rut. I know people were experiencing that in 2020, but I just like for a long time had pretty not great reads, and I believe the least amount of 5-star reads that I've had in a year, not that I've counted it, but I definitely wasn't having one every month. My highest rated book on Goodreads, wow, Slam Dunk 24, which is the last book in the series that I was just talking about. It has a 5.0 average. That's amazing. I feel like I have never seen that before. And the only time I even see like a high 4, like 4.8, is when a book first comes out or it's being reviewed by people, like arcs are being reviewed by people. My first review of the year was Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi, which is the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone. You'll see here, I felt like I am pretty late with reading fantasy and probably series. I do like to read them back to back. I have selective memory and I read a lot of books, so definitely I would like to read them all back to back or relatively close to each other just so I remember what's going on, and I felt like I had lost that and wasn't really remembering a lot of what happened in the first book, and that's why I did not enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I'm not sure if there's a third book or if it's just a duology, but I would reread this and just read everything back to back. And then these are all the books that I read in 2021. I didn't rate everything, but yeah, my original goal was to read 100 books and I read 163, and I'm really glad with that. I chose to go with 100 books because I was going back to school and was unsure about how much time I would be able to dedicate into reading, and I'm actually really glad that I was able to do this, especially with going to school online. So now that we're done with my stats, I want to go into a little bit about my bookish goals for this year. Talk a little bit about my bookish goals for last year. From what I could remember, I obviously was able to complete the 100 books. I wanted to read, I think, at least at minimum a 1-to-1 ratio of reading BIPOC authors and white authors, in which I did. If I can show the stats, if I make one, I will. I do check them on a month-to-month basis as well, just so that I can make sure that I'm keeping up with it. But I was able to surpass that, and I would like to continue that goal going forward for 2022 as well, and include maybe like 5 nonfiction books. I just made that up, but I feel like that's really good to do as well. I did read a number of nonfiction books that I did not think that I would. I think for this year, my goal is to read 150 books. If you watched my bullet journal 2022 setup, you'll know that my goal is to read 150 books. I typically do surpass them. My Goodreads goal already tells me that I'm behind, which is fine. I totally understand why people set their goals to 1 book and read however much they want to, but I want to try to read 150 books. We'll see how I am with that because I'm done with school. I won't have my commute as often anymore, and I have not been reading before bed as I liked to do at the beginning of 2021. Any other goals? I think that might be it. If I have any, you'll probably find out about them in my vlogs throughout the year. We are going to head into all the books that I read in 2021, all 163 books. If there are photos, I either return the library book already or they're ebooks or audiobooks, and I hope you guys enjoy.
I also just forgot to mention that I had 0 DNFs this year. Weirdly proud of that. Couldn't stop after I realized that I had none, even though I could have DNF'd some. But yeah, didn't mention that. So I did fully read 163 books.
Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lemme. The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. Film for Her by Orion Carlotto. The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. The Wedding Pact by Katie Robert. We Are Not Free by Tracy Chee. A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. Dragon Hoops by Jean Luen Yang. Once Ghosted, Twice Shy by Alyssa Cole. Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Lakewood by Megan Giddings. They All Fall Down by Rachel Housel Hall. Can't Escape Love by Alyssa Cole. The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. 1984 by George Orwell. Lumberjanes by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellison, illustrated by Brooke Allen. The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher. Banned Book Club by Kim Hyun-suk and Ryan Estrada and illustrated by Ko Hyung-ju. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. The Magic Fish by Trung Lee Win. Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. Unorthodox by Deborah Feldman. The Girl with the Make-Believe Husband by Julia Quinn. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Wake Up by V.E. Schwab. The Troop by Nick Cutter. Loveless by Alice Oseman. Bromance Book Club by Lissa K. Adams. Long Bright River by Liz Moore. Almost American Girl by Robin Ha. People Who Eat Darkness by Richard Lloyd Perry. A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn, and the second epilogue for this book, which is like a novella or something. Bias by Bernard Goldberg. The Duke and I by Julia Quinn, and the second epilogue novella. Year of the Rabbit by Tian Wiesna. Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Said. My Year of Meats by Ruth L. Olzicki. The Wicker King by Kay Ankrum. An Indecent Proposal by Katie Robert. Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. The Silence of Bones by Jane Hur. Why the Last Man, Volume 1, Unmanned. Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. Why the Last Man Volume 2 Cycles by Brian K. Vaughan. The Beekeeper by Dunya Mikhail. The Broken Window by Jeffrey Deaver. The Other Miss Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. Why the Last Man Volume 3 One Small Step by Brian K. Vaughan. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Why the Last Man Volume 4 Safe Word by Brian K. Vaughan. Why the Last Man Volume 5 Ring of Truth by Brian K. Vaughan. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. What Lies Between Us by John Mars. Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Jade City by Fonda Lee. Something Like Love by Christina C. Jones. City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Zenny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Cannibal Killers, Monsters with an Appetite for Murder and a Taste for Human Flesh by Chloe Castleton. Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. American Love Story by Adriana Herrera. The Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigirdar. Wraith by Rebecca Weatherspoon. The Minders by John Mars. King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. My Favorite Half-Night Stand by Christina Lauren. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Foolproof Love by Katie Roberts. Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. Black Klansman by Ron Stallworth. Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones. Wilder Girls by Rory Power. The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon. Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. Diary of a Tokyo Teen by Christine Madi Inzer. Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. Undercover Bromance by Lissa K. Adams. How to Catch a Queen by Alyssa Cole. Wrong Bed, Right Guy by Katie Robert. Bunny by Mona Awad. Dress Codes for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens. Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Why the Last Man, Volume 6, Girl on Girl by Brian K. Vaughan. Confession of a Serial Killer, The Untold Story of Dennis Rader, the BTK Killer by Katherine Ramsland, PhD. Why the Last Man, Paper Dolls, Volume 7 by Brian K. Vaughan. Not a Happy Family by Shari LaPena. The Plot by Jean Hanff Korelitz. Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Why the Last Man, Volume 7, Kimono Dragons by Brian K. Vaughan. Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. Slam Dunk Number 1 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 2 by Inoue Takehiko. Queenie by Candice Cardi Williams. Slam Dunk Number 3 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk 4 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk 5 by Inoue Takehiko. Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. Slam Dunk 6 and 7 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk 8 by Inoue Takehiko. 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. Slam Dunk Number 9 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 10 by Inoue Takehiko. Why the Last Man, Volume 9, Motherland by Brian K. Vaughan. Slam Dunk 11 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 12 and 13 by Inoue Takehiko. Why the Last Man, Volume 10, Whys and Wherefores by Brian K. Vaughan. A Serial Killer's Daughter by Carrie Rawson. Slam Dunk 14 by Inoue Takehiko. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Slam Dunk Number 15 by Inoue Takehiko. Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. Slam Dunk Number 17 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 18 by Inoue Takehiko. The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris. Slam Dunk Number 19 by Inoue Takehiko. Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. Slam Dunk Number 20 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 21 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk 22 by Inoue Takehiko. The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Slam Dunk 23 by Inoue Takehiko. My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Slam Dunk 24 by Inoue Takehiko. Neon Gods by Katie Robert. The Skeleton Crew by Deborah Halber. The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. False Witness by Karen Slaughter. White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. The Family by Naomi Krupitsky. The Duke Heist by Erica Ridley. The Last Story of Mina Lee by Nancy Juyeon Kim. A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Pearl by Josh Mallerman. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. Seeing Ghosts by Kat Chow. thank you so much for sticking around with me through the end. I do hope to have a more regular video uploading schedule this year. I know that I really fell off at the end of the year because I had been going back to school in person. If you have any video suggestions of what you would like to see, I would always be open to knowing what they are and putting out what you would like to see. Also, I'm not sure if I want to do like a favorite books of 2021 video because I have not looked those over at all. I might be not feeling it. We'll see because I had so little. Let me know what your favorite books of 2021 were and if we had any overlaps of books that we read. Hopefully I will see you all next week in my new video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all next time. Bye!